Let's see how things are going. I'm gonna get this part going. And I'm already guessing we're live by the looks of things. I'm not really positive on that, so I'm just going to talk to you anyways while I get things organized because you know what I'm like. I never have this stuff sorted out on time, but I think we're actually good to go. Just one last check here. Make sure that I'm not talking to the wind because that is always fun, as you know. Ta-da, da-da, da-da. Yes, we are. That's awesome. Okay, so moving forward, welcome everybody to my weekly wellness discovery show. And really, the best way for you to enjoy a nice, long-lasting life of looking good, feeling good, and all those groovy things that go with it is by getting educated on natural ways that you can have better health. So today, as you saw in the title, I'm going to be sharing three of my favorite takeaways from our Vitality from Life show that was on last Wednesday night, The Dirty Truth About Everyday Products. If you missed that, well, first off, what I'm going to talk about a little bit is in my wellness center. You can see the title, my three favorite highlights. In there, it's covered, but today I also want to cover a few things as well with you. So okay, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm not sure what you're waiting for because you're missing out on so many good things. There's all sorts of interviews in my wellness hub. There's recipes. There's all the past Vitality for Life shows that we've had and a whole lot more. So all you got to do is put in your name, your email address, and you're in. You get access to all of it. So help yourself to that. A little bit about me. How I came to be a wellness educator was when I was bit back in 1997. A friend of mine who was also afflicted back in 1997, Brenda Sterling Goodwin, she started making these lovely little bears. Limeare is the name. I've always been saying Limeer, but it's Limeare because it's lime bear is what this is. And as you can see from this, there's a little pin on there. I'm trying to get that lined up for you. I'm not doing very good. Education is key. And that's the truth. I mean, we need to be educated on the things that sometimes mainstream medicine isn't going to help you with. Lyme is one of them, unfortunately. So I had to learn the hard way, what do I do to help myself? And again, that's where education is key. So that's how I came into this, is because I learned so many different things over almost 3 decades now that as I put it all together in my wellness center I was just talking about, it's on my YouTube channel, the shows that I'm doing right here with you now. The whole idea is to help you improve your health by showing you all the different things you can do with nature that are going to help you to live your best life too. So thanks for being here today, everyone. I really appreciate it. Now, again, last week, before the show started earlier that day, I did a show just like this, and we talked about what was coming up, and that was the dirty truth about everyday products. Now, we do know that there are hidden toxins hit everywhere. I mean, it's in our laundry soap, it's in our toothpaste, it's in our skincare, whatever we clean the house with, you name it. And all of it affects your health. And we also talked about in that show some of the simple, easy things that you can do to make some nice, gentle swaps around your house that are going to help to protect you, your family, your pets, your home, everything. So that is also in my wellness center that I'm, encouraging you to help yourself to. The whole event is archived in there, so you're welcome to it in case you missed it. Definitely worth checking out. And in a minute, I'm going to get into why you want to watch this. So, like I said, I'm going to share three of my favorite takeaways from the show so that you can also be in the know and it's going to help you to make better choices within your home too. Okay, now the first one. And this one, when this one hit me hard, it really hit me hard. I used to figure that just because something's in the store, it must be safe. Otherwise, they wouldn't sell a dangerous product, would they? That just makes no sense. But in the Vitality for Life show, they talk about Bob. Now, back in college, he took up a job cleaning hospital floors, and it's just another cash gig. And after a few weeks, though, he started coughing and he had this constant irritation going on, and he started to connect the dots. Well, one day while he was cleaning, he had his face over the nice steaming bucket of industrial cleaner, his glasses all fogged up, and then he saw this thick film all over his lenses, and then he, is thinking, if that's on my glasses, that's in my lungs, and that made him realize that just because it's sold doesn't mean it's safe. So here's my question for you. When's the last time you really looked at a label of one of your cleaning products? I did this, back in 2008, and I realized they don't tell you what's in it. That alone should scare you. Now, Bob's story is a very powerful reminder that we should take a very good look at the things that we actually trust because they're in the stores to keep our homes clean. Now, how could your cleaning products be affecting your family? We often think clean means safe, right? Clean means healthy, but some of those very products might be doing the exact opposite. You've got your kids crawling on the floor, your pets are all over the floor, and they're absorbing the toxins up through that. The pets, they breathe the fumes in right at the ground level, never mind what's above that. And then there's your children too, right? And these harsh sprays, not only are they tough on your lungs, they're tough on your eyes, your skin, and the long-term exposure to these, it does affect your hormones and even your nervous system. So that's why switching to safer products that aren't just green seems to be a marketing word these days. It's a wellness choice that is just really good for your entire household. Now, in the show, Bob is actually going to share one key piece of advice. When you know better, you can clean better. And that's true. Now, one of the things that surprised me is that well, actually, that didn't surprise me. I already knew this, but for a lot of people, many of the products that say natural or green, they still contain harmful ingredients. In fact, if I remember correctly, they only have to be 25% toxic free to be able to classify themselves as that. So what does that mean the other 75% is? So really it's all about learning what you want to be looking for, what to avoid. And in this short clip, he's going to share exactly how to vet out those products, what labels to watch for, and what ingredients that you want to stay clear of. Are you ready?
Just go to EWG or any other reputable source of information on companies that actually offer real green. Because because it says green on the label doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually safe. So, my feeling is that if there are actually safe green cleaning products that either you can purchase from a reputable company that actually has a reputation for doing what they say, or make your own home brew. There's a lot of great cleaning recipes you can just do to get common things like vinegar, that kind of thing. So those would be two suggestions I'd make. Ask yourself if you really need a super toxic toilet bowl cleaner. And my guess would be no, you really don't. Nor do you need an acid-based cleaner to clean your shower. You don't really need that. So the very first thing is to ask yourself which of the cleaners that you're using has ingredients in it that you really want to stay away from, like oven cleaners and tile cleaners. Then find yourself a really good, non-toxic, biodegradable general cleaner, preferably one that doesn't come pre-diluted. And so that's the first thing. Slim down the products you have. Decide what do you actually really need to get clean. And a good general cleaner will handle pretty much everything. And then if you like bubbly and whatnot for dishes, well, buy something from a reputable company that has bubbly that doesn't have any of the other bad stuff.
Okay. And his excitement about safe cleaning products actually turned into an incredible career. That's another story. Anyway, the second thing is a little section Science Bites with Dr. Bruce Daggy. Now, if you love the science side of things, his segment was really good for that because he broke down how certain chemicals, even in tiny amounts, can really mess with your hormones, your immune system, and even your energy levels. Let's take a look what he has to say.
Yeah, so BPA is an interesting
interesting case. It's bisphenol A, BPA. It was used in a lot of food contact plastics. So a lot of times, if you're having some canned food, the can is made of metal, but there would be a plastic liner inside to prevent the food being in direct contact with the metal, which could cause off flavors or shorter shelf life kind of problems. And that plastic would contain the BPA. So that's where it started. And someone did studies that showed that that was an endocrine disruptor. Let me explain what an endocrine disruptor is, because that's a term that people have heard, but I think a lot of times don't know. So the endocrine system, this is involving the hormones in our body that help regulate many processes in our body that are key to our health. Some microplastics will act like the hormone. Okay, so it's as though you had more of that hormone than you really had. Other endocrine disruptors act in the opposite direction. They block that hormone from doing what it should do. So it's like you have less of that hormone. And still other endocrine disruptors affect the gland that secretes the hormone and will cause the gland to either make and secrete more or make and secrete less. So there are multiple classes of these chemicals. You mentioned BPA was one of the first ones studied. Dioxins, you probably heard. Phthalates, I think you mentioned. PFAS is another one. These are all endocrine disruptors. And why should we be concerned? Well, they regulate, our endocrine system regulates functions like growth, fertility, reproduction. So it's a great concern if you're affecting systems like that, particularly when we have exposure, again, going back even before birth.
Okay. And a lot of that, I think, might be new to quite a few people. Okay, sunscreen. Now, it's funny, when we were, where the heck were we? I think it was Jamaica. We had to have our sunscreen inspected before we were allowed to go into a particular piece of ocean. And it was amazing how many people were not allowed to use the sunscreen they brought. They had to purchase what they had available. And the reason being is because traditional sunscreens, they have chemicals like oxybenzone and the other one, I'm going to mess this up, octinoxate. They're very damaging to the coral reefs and potentially our skin as well. In fact, a lot of the sunscreens can actually be quite cancerous. You want to be careful of what you're using. So if you're heading outside this weekend, make sure you double check what you're actually putting onto your skin. Okay, there are some reef safe options that work great, that protect your health. And if you want me to send you this video clip, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep you watching videos all day here. So we'll move forward. Now, in this journey of going low tox, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's really about learning one step at a time, and I'm here to support you through that. So if you want to catch the full replay, is full of the stories, the science, the solutions, just drop the word replay and I'll send you the link. Okay, so a quick recap of today. Just because it's sold in the stores doesn't mean it's safe. And many everyday cleaning products, they contain all kinds of hidden dangers that can really do damage to your health, especially for your kids and your pets. So when you know better, you can clean better. And learning what's really in your products empowers you to make those safe, low tox choices for a healthier home for everyone. So, Earth Day is coming up. In fact, it's this Tuesday. If you're ready to honor that by doing a few things to help the planet, instead of just making it one day, you can actually look at what products are in your home and figure out which ones you want to swap out. Because then you're actually doing Earth Day for more than just one day. So drop a comment for me or leave a message, or if you want to take some small, powerful steps towards, getting those things out of your house so that you can have a healthier home, a healthier family, healthier planet, of course, you can always drop the word clean and I'll get in touch with you and I'll let you know what I use. Okay, so if you're interested in being a wellness nut and learning all sorts of interesting things, you can join my group on Facebook. It's Danny's Wellness Tribe. I'll have the link up above for you, by the way, along with the link to my wellness center that you're going to subscribe to, right? And also, if you want any of the links that I've mentioned or you want to talk about them, let me know. Just get in touch with me. Okay, so thanks everyone for watching our show today. And just so you know, this coming Tuesday, I'm doing a show on Earth Day about Earth Day, and I would love to have you here if you're able to be here. All right, I think that's got everything done. Limer and I, we're gonna say our goodbyes and enjoy your Easter weekend. I know we are. We've got family coming in, so we're pretty excited about that. Hopefully you have a great Easter too. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye for now.